Welcome to the April 16th Board of Education meeting for Coventry Local Schools. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Mr. Davis.
Here.
Mr. Fowler.
Here.
Mr. Hostetler.
Here.
And Mrs. McGraw. Here. The pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to approve the meeting agenda?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Davis.
Yep.
Mr. Fowler.
Yes.
Mr. Hostetler.
Yes.
And Mrs. McGraw. Yes. Approval of the minutes. Is anyone not in any of these special meetings? Do we need to pull any of them out separately?
Yes.
All right, is there a motion to approve all of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting of 3/19, a special meeting of 3/19, and a special meeting on 4/10?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Fowler.
Yes.
Mr. Hostetler.
Yes.
And Mrs. McGraw. Yes.
All right, so this is the great time of year for us because when the high school comes in to do their last educational spotlight, it means we're close to the end of the school year. So the high school is going to share, or Neil's going to share an update on the high school since he last spoke to us. And I'm hoping a lot of the events that are coming up, he has quite a list you'll do.
One thing before I didn't include it in the spotlight, I just wanted to make the board aware. Jim Betty, who was our golf coach for 14 years, he passed away. Yes, they placed him in hospice. He hadn't been doing well. I believe it was April 4th, so about almost 2 weeks ago. Yes, his wife struggled, passed away, and then, I think it might have been 13 months later, his health declined. But Mr. Bogus shared, he posted it this afternoon, published it on the athletics Facebook page, just as a tribute and a thanks for all that, he did. I believe I hired him, as the golf coach. For our numbers, we barely had a team. And he really volunteered a lot of his time and did a lot to get our golf program going. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. I also, and they can share it with all of the board members, Mr. Jens and Mrs. Blau, I shared our spotlight because there's like 48, 50 slides. It would take me an hour to go through them all. But basically, from the start of the second semester, winter sports and things that went through there, those are attached. You can view them. I'm just going to kind of do our focus from what's currently going on. And as Mr. Fisk mentioned, the number of events that take us to the end of the year. First and foremost, again, heartfelt thanks to central office and the school board for approving our alternative testing schedules. We had ELA at the beginning of the month, a change that we made. It's our second year with it, of utilizing the 2-day option for our 10th graders to take that pathway to graduation state test. It's helped, I think, to keep kids focused better and not feel the pressure of trying. The state allows you 2 days. Prior, we used to try to get it in 1 day. Today, we had our biology, our 9th graders were all here taking that. The other two from these first 2 days of testing, which is much better than in the past. For ELA, we only had 5 students not take the test due for a variety of reasons, and they've all taken the makeup already. And with biology today, we only had 9 students not here. So the attendance rate, because that's always a hassle for guidance, trying to get everybody retested prior to the deadline. Tomorrow, we'll have our sophomores and juniors in the building for the history and government. Those two, we've traditionally, probably, consistently have been our best test scores in those areas. And then we'll round it out with math next Wednesday. Moving forward, two big things. All of you are aware of the success that both our choir and band programs had here into the mid-late winter, early spring, where our combined choirs did excellent, getting Superior 1 ratings, and beyond their performances, just how they represent our school and the community when they're competing in this event. Big congratulations to them and to Mrs. Strudler. Our band program, I know you've seen, they placed at Cuyahoga Falls, earning the highest rating, like choir did Superior 1, which again, that rating qualifies them to compete in the state, which is May 3rd. And I guess we kind of got luck with the draw because the conflict with so many events is that is also the night of our senior prom, May 3rd. But it worked out, and those kids, great testament to their character, their commitment, working it out. They're gonna go compete in that in the morning and still have plenty of time for hair and makeup to make it to prom. This was designed by Arpen, one of our senior students in Mr. Egan's career-based intervention program. This is the 5th year. It's coming up. If any of you are around, on April 30th, we hold it in the main gym from 8:30 to 10:30. We've been running a college fair. We started with the job fair, and he's done a great job. And it's also so many of our kids have been able to secure part-time jobs. Some have led into that are at the Career Center, internships for full-time opportunities. But it gives a chance for our kids to go through the job fair. Many of these local businesses are hiring for the summer. Again, outstanding job from our kids, and it is available if you want to make a note. Carson told me, because I unfortunately had a conflict with competitive gymnastics, competitive cheerleading. Of course, it was the weekend of the play, but it's on the band webpage and under YouTube. And for the performers, they said, click on the Friday performance. They felt that was most stellar. So if you didn't get a chance to see it, and you can go on the district website on the band page, you can see, but so much time and effort went in. It's really running a full musical is, like we said, was something we were doing at the old building. Things when the 4th grade academy came and we made renovations, we struggled, but they have really done a great job. Kids, the adults running it, the support staff here, and those kids were so proud. We had, again, every year, it seems we've had one or more students recognized. Jillian Groden, 9th grader, got honorable mention in the annual Holocaust Summit Arts and Writing Festival. And her work, will get invited to the ceremony on next Thursday, and then her piece will remain on display for the end of April. Another nice opportunity, we've added, like all of you are aware, 2 AP courses this year in the science department, AP Environmental and AP Biology. And Mrs. Welling and Mrs. Pacifico organized sort of a field trip where they went I believe it was last week, up to the Cleveland Aquarium and tied in a lot of learning things that they've been working on. And the staff spoke real highly of how our kids were and what they learned in that day. So we hope to continue that moving forward. We also had last week, Mrs. Stubbs, art history, and a group of students in Miss Brown's class got a chance to go to the Cleveland Art Museum. That was a great trip for them. We also, National Honor Society, every year, the best of our best, I guess, and it's a small group. We only had 8 new inductees out of our junior class for this year. But that's a great honor for these following 8 students that got inducted moving forward. Our softball team, I believe they've done it, be the 3rd year overall that they've gone down to over our spring break down to Pigeon Forge in Tennessee. Beyond, okay, we're a younger group this year. There's some outstanding competition. So from the competitive end, it was a little bit of a struggle, but I think for the student athletes and their families and the opportunity to go down as a team and be down there really are memories that they'll take with them well beyond their once they graduate. Last week, we did our academic awards and special awards programs here in the theater. Highlighted beyond giving out class honors, scroll club, and the academic based awards. We have every year leadership and citizenship awards that go to one boy and one girl in each of the grade levels. What makes it special with this is these are the nominees are, it's the staff that nominates them. And it's not just our teachers, it's everybody in the building. Once we get a list of 5 finalists, our staff votes on it. So the kids, we let them know that, you know, the academic awards, you're being credited for your own personal hard work. These special awards are stuff that everyone here in this building recognizes. We have our 10th grade winners here, same thing. We had our also when we give out sportsmanship awards that come from the athletic department as well, and coaches. This year we kind of blended to make things, I don't want to say more inclusive instead of exclusive. In years we used to do special education recognition night. For years we've kind of blended that now with a number of different activities. Where we had the special abilities week in all the building. And then for our awards this year, we blended all of those in. So we weren't having separate awards. Again, our 10th grade winners, or I was 11. We also recognize Luan and Mara. Those were our 2 exchange students. I believe a year ago at this time you approved. That came from France and Germany, and we've really had a wonderful experience. Our senior class ones, again, citizenship, Peyton and Kayla, and our leadership went to Carson and Anna. And then we also at the academic awards, a number of different things, I don't say requirements to get the Presidential Scholar Education Award. And in the senior class, we had 8 that qualified for that as well. Few others, because we've changed our senior scholarship night, which is upcoming, is focused truly on the students that applied or getting awarded local scholarships. So all of kind of our other awards we did in the building. This year, our Beacon Journal Star students, we just finalized those packets and submitted it, will be Carson McGraw and Sabrina Wade. And then our News Channel 5, Nicola, is the recipient of that. These are upcoming. May's sort of busy. That doesn't disrupt the rest of the school, but a lot of the we've done for our students that have to take those high stakes AP exams. We very rarely are ever having any on the same day, obviously, but beyond that, on a case in point, on May 5th, for our students that are taking the biology AP exam, they are excused, those individual students, from their other classes that day. And pretty much with 3 or 4 of them, they, like I know, Mr. Hipley has AP government, that's a noon test. So what he'll do, and we permit, they'll do a study session with the kids and they may go to breakfast. So we try to, you know, for our kids that are taking that and putting in all that time and trying to get college credit for it, we kind of adjust their schedules individually for those. The upcoming events, again, I'll share this as well. I've mentioned the job fair coming up next week as well. The spring band concerts next Thursday. May 1st, we have a CATS presentation. That's a student group. Some of them are alumni, comes from Akron. They do a lot of mental health, harassment, bullying, identifying prevention, really good. We'll have our group of students that'll go up to Nordonia again on May 2nd for the Special Olympics. Mentioned Saturday, May 3rd's prom. I believe the invitations went out electronically today for the May 6th students with distinction dinner. We are having that over in Fairlawn again, Our Lady of the Cedars. And we have 16 students that selected 13 staff members. So those 16 students, again, if you don't remember, are all students that have a 4.0 or higher, will be graduating. Also, this another thing that Mrs. Brew has worked partly through Mrs. Dort. We're gonna have a mental health expo during lunch as part of the behavioral health stuff beyond Greenleaf teaching in the classrooms. Our last May 8th, our last spring concert. Here's our senior activities. May 14th is our last academic day of classes. The 15th is our senior scholarship night. We're gonna continue with the senior walk that I believe now is what, Donnie, about our 4th year started, the 4th or 5th, where all of our seniors go to the other 2 buildings, and walk through, and the students and staff do a clap out. Jazz band, this might have been a change. I talked with Brandon, that was, on, I think the band webpage is being on the 19th. They're doing that on Friday, the 16th. Because Monday, we go short week, with our seniors, the senior sunset. I think, Donnie, you started that. We have cap and gown pickup, May 21st is graduation. One other note over the summer, as we get into June, put that up, our band golf outing. They run that in the summer. Any other questions? I know that was a lot. I didn't mean to speed through it, but there's 25 other slides that you can view. That so many things going on. We're excited for the end of the year. I know, just quickly, I know I spoke with a few of you, but I'm not big on fanfare. It isn't about me, but I just wanted to extend my thanks to all of you for the support you've given me personally. In a few different administrative positions. It's hard to believe, for 16 years. And as I get ready to retire again, I've had just a wonderful experience. You hear people say it a lot of times, but for me to continue to make about a 1-hour commute daily, it's been an easy thing to do because I've been around such wonderful people, families, and students here. So thanks for that opportunity.
you, Mr. Cox. Before we move on to the last item under the district reports would be, last month, Mr. Davis had asked for an update on our fleets.
Thank you.
So Kelly Smith put this together. I thought she did a good job of kind of breaking down like all the aspects that we were looking at, and including her opinion as to some suggestions, as the supervisor of that area, what she thinks we should consider thinking about going forward. So I thought she did a great job capturing the health of our fleet at this moment. It's kind of crazy to think it somewhere in there. She said one of our buses, bus number 14, a 2022 bus is already at 116,000 miles.
Yeah.
Because of the routes it takes. I thought that was pretty eye-opening when you think about
16,000.
the amount of miles our drivers put on those buses every day, picking up our kids. So if you have any questions about that, you could get those to me and I can go to Kelly and get some follow-up answers for you if you'd like. That's it for everything under district meetings.
Yeah, thank you. We don't have citizen participation. Ms. Tyson wants to contribute. All right, Board of Education comments. I'll start with Dan.
My school, yep, it's good. Oh my goodness, if you didn't make it, you got to watch it on YouTube, and that is the musical Addams Family. You could feel it in the crowd, and the kids responded. They did very well. I was impressed. And that's hard to do, because you usually I'll sit there and be very critical of how they're hitting the right note, or they're not quite high enough, a little higher, you pinch it a little bit. And I tell you what, they were all very good, and it was very well received. But I tell you what, you talk about putting a lot of work in. Not only is it a play, but also it's a musical. So you got a choir concert going on as the kids are doing their spiel with their acting and the words and all the rest of the stuff, and it worked. Now, I didn't go back on Saturday for the doubleheader, but Friday night it was very good. I'm glad I did that. The choir, getting the 1 rating. We got some singers. We've got some people that do a nice job. Job fair on the 30th. I've never become to one, but I'm gonna come. Not that I need another job. Because I just picked up another job. I'm a driver now.
Bus driver?
No, I'm a driver, a new car driver. Whenever they need a new car somewhere, they'll send somebody over to pick up the car, and usually it's a trade between the dealerships. So I'll end up driving a new car over to, say I went to Toledo, Oregon to pick up a car. Okay, I'll hurry up. Thank you very much. Usually that's Chris that's going like this. Hurry up. AP tests are coming up. I remember taking those. We end up having, I don't know why our principal, he tried to get them all on the same day to just get them over with, but it was just a matter you knew it or not. You'd try to do some sort of review before the night before, but it was crazy. Dance show on next Thursday, and that'll be a good time too. We've got a very talented group of musicians, so to speak, coming on. And then, of course, put me down for the scholarship night. And the dinner, I mean the distinction dinner on May 6th for that.
You're still gonna have to respond to the email. When you just say, put me down,
Put me down, yes,
but you need to put yourself down.
I need to put myself down.
I'll put that
I
pressure
don't
on.
think I sound. I need to
They
be.
don't remember, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody put Dan down for that.
Oh, I end up going anywhere, whether you want me there or not. Okay, thank you very much. Next.
Yeah, I don't have much. I just thank you for all, that has been a long time. I remember when we hired you in the principal position too, you were here before me with that, but other stuff, but yeah, you've done a great job, I think, I've heard. And, but yeah, so thank you. I mean, that's a long time.
That's good. Weird to think after only principal in this building. That's,
Yeah.
that makes me feel real old.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool, but
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, I just wanted to also say thank you very much. I remember when I met you, you were the athletic director. And boy, you had a zillion kids everywhere, every night, and we moved in here and it was like organized chaos, still organized chaos, but I know it's a lot to thank you for your time and effort and everything.
Thanks.
Also with thanking some teachers, Mr. Baylor was the director of the show and he did a fantastic job. Middle school drama teacher, fantastic, you'll love him. Wonderful human. And Mrs. Strebler, who is the high school music teacher, fantastic with what she did. And then Mrs. Schuler, who's middle school. Art, does she teach?
Art.
Huh? Art, oh, she's fantastic.
Sure.
This set was amazing, just great team. Our kids just benefit from having amazing teachers, and so I appreciate the leadership that you give your staff in order to keep them, great.
I believe
And you'll do it.
Stacy was in the last play. When she was a senior, we had it up at the old elementary school. The last year we did a full, not a musical, but had a fall play. So yeah, she is an art teacher and really does.
Fantastic, really great.
Great.
And then the last thing is the Taste of Coventry, which is hosted by the Coventry Schools Foundation, is Tuesday. It's at Gather at the Lakes, which is behind Lala's. Tickets are $35 a person. Come hungry, leave extremely full, and you get to travel and eat a lot. It's a fundraiser for Coventry Schools Foundation. They give away this year 7 $1,000 scholarships to seniors. And then every year they do teacher grants in the fall. And last year they gave away about $13,000 worth of grants to teachers for various things for their school. It's a great opportunity to, mingle, have a little food, have a little wine, spend a little money. So that's what I've got.
All right, yeah, not much from me. Neil, thank you. I've been on the board for, I don't know, 8 years. Too long. But I've always felt that you run a very tight ship here and we could have confidence that this school was in good order. So, hope you're satisfied and fulfilled with the career you had here. And best of luck to you moving forward.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, well, I think we're done with that section of the meetings and let's get into the fun stuff. All right, is there a motion? You're gonna, you do it.
All right.
You're up.
Under superintendent's recommendations, number 1, certified personnel. Number 1 there, non-renewal, non-CEA supplemental contracts. It's recommended that the board non-renew the supplemental contracts which were in effect for the 24-25 school year for those individuals who are not a part of the board CEA agreement for exhibit S1. And just a reminder, this is just a procedural action that we take every year. Number 2 is employment, casual day-to-day substitute teachers. It's recommended the board inform the substitute teachers that they have reasonable assurance of being reemployed if needed during the 25-26 school year. Again, another procedural annual resolution that we do, which also is a factor to let these employees know they have reasonable chance for employment next year, which helps us with any unemployment claims that could occur over the summer. Number 3 is employment, certified 1-year limited contracts. It's recommended the board employ the following teachers on 1-year limited contracts for the 25-26 school year for exhibit S2. Recognize a lot of those names, as a lot of those individuals are teachers we just hired over the last few years. A lot of great educators there. Number 4, employment, summer school, get ready for school. It's recommended that the board employ the following teachers as summer school 2025 get ready for school instructors. And just as a reminder that Ms. Phillips, Ms. Stewart will be paid a stipend from the Early Childhood Resource Center. Number 5, employment, summer school elementary acclimation instructors. It's recommended the board employ the following teachers as summer school 2025 elementary acclimation instructors. And those individuals are listed. And just as a reminder, this is a process that we started a few years ago, just so that when these children come through the doors for the first time, they're ready to go and hit the ground running on day 1. So that we get a lot of the formalities that the teachers spend a lot of time on at the beginning of the year out of the way as much as we can. Number 6, employment, kindergarten screening. It's recommended that the board employ the following teachers for the 2025 kindergarten screening process at Coventry Elementary. This is a state required program and the cost is covered using general funds. And those teachers are listed. It'll run on June 5th, August 7th, and August 8th. Number 7, extended time supplemental contracts. It's recommended to the board grant supplemental contracts for extended time to the following employees for the 2025 summer. Or I'm sorry, 2025 summer and for 2025-26 school year. And those are our guidance counselors at 12.5 days, special services at 8 days. Technology, Ms. Grabsky for 10 days, and curriculum, Mrs. Fallon for 10 days. And as it says there, Mrs. Fallon wraps up our Apex program and makes sure that our students are getting everything done and in order to start the next school year. Number 8, supplemental coaching contracts, 24-25. It's recommended the board grant for reissue the following supplemental coaching contracts for the 24-25 school year. Non-stop staff contracts are contingent upon receipt of a clear record of the required background check. That's for Mr. Hayden and Mrs. Ross to help with high school and middle school track. Number 9 is administrative contract. It's recommended the board grant a 2-year administrative contract to the following for the position indicated, effective August 1st, 2025 to July 31st, 2027. And that's for Ashley Mauger, who you met prior to the beginning of the meeting as our new CMS assistant principal. We had 38 applicants for this position. And Mrs. Mauger was hands down unanimously, no question, the number 1 candidate. We went through a number 3 cycles of interviews through the first one and second one. The first one was with Mr. Johnson. The second one was with an interview team made up of Mr. Johnson and teachers from the middle school. And there was never any doubt. She walked out of her second interview and they didn't want to interview anyone else because they wanted her. So she was hands down our first choice. So we're happy to have her. So welcome to Coventry. And those are all the items under certified personnel.
Is there a motion to approve these recommendations?
So moved.
Second.
Is there discussion?
Yeah, I have some really super basic questions, but so the number 5 and 6, the employment ones, how do teachers, do you put out like, is it, I mean, how do you get those teachers? Is there more teachers looking for those positions?
Those
Yeah,
are the
so-
ones that respond to the post.
Okay, and so if they responded, they're,
So for the elementary one, Mr. Davis, like the elementary
Yeah,
summer
yeah.
information camp,
yeah,
there's a posting that goes out, they apply to Dan as the elementary principal. He had 6 teachers apply, one of them was from the high school, he obviously wants elementary teachers first, so we kind of narrowed it down by that, and then if it's a conflict, we usually go seniority, go to the higher senior teacher, we get it first. But it boiled down to, it's a great group of the elementary.
yeah, and there's a lot of new people on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was just wondering how the selection process kind of went, if it was a seniority thing, but I think it's cool that there's so many like,
Yeah, young ones.
yeah, from the last year or
Good
2
point.
who are on these things, so they're,
Three of them are.
so they're stepping up for like, so just try to get involved, that's.
Those are those
Thank you.
fantastic, like, and we talk all the time about the energy that those new teachers have brought to that elementary
Yeah.
school. There's 3 of them there that really bring that higher energy. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, so, yes, that's great, and then the high school assistant rowing coach.
Mr. Hayden, yes.
Yes, thank you. It's like I've just heard over the last 2 weeks, multiple comments from multiple people about how we're losing some potential students because we don't actually have that position. So that's great. I didn't know that was on the agenda. I was like thinking, who do I know to coach that? So good. So we have somebody now. who-
That's Mr. Egan's work. He recruited Mr. Hayden to come in and work,
Awesome.
to work with the throwers.
Yeah, I was just talking, yeah, anyways, that's great. So. Good work. And then welcome. Yeah, that's great. It's fantastic. So what are you looking forward to most here?
Just learning more about the district. I've heard great things so far. And trying to bring what I know and my passion for education and for kids, bring it to Coventry and you know, I think it's gonna be a really good partnership. I'm really looking forward to my time here.
Yeah, thank you. Interesting.
Any other comments? Discussion? Ready to vote? Call the roll.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mr. Hostetler,
Yes.
and Mrs. McGraw.
Yes. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
Right?
Yeah, no, sure.
There are no items for classified staff, so we're going straight into the other business items. A, recommendations, 1, contract Wings of Change Therapy. It's recommended that the board approve the contract with Wings of Change Therapy for the 25-26 school year. The total cost will be $68,000 billed in monthly installments, $5,666.66. This placement covers the student's IEP intervention services, related services, vocational training, sensory regulation, behavior management, social education services, and ESY if it's determined to be necessary. Number 2 is contract with KRG Group, which we refer to universally as LEAP. It's recommended that the board approve the open contract for student placements with KRG Education Services, Inc., the LEAP program for educational services for the 25-26 school year. It's 182 days and expires on 6/2/26 at a per diem rate of $165 per day. And just as a reminder, that's for students that need a different educational placement, typically due to just behavior challenges. Number 3 is a contract with Groovy Garafus LLC. It's recommended that the board approve the contract with Groovy Garafus LLC to provide music therapy to 3 of our special education classrooms for the 25-26 school year. This will include 33 days of direct services for $4,950 to be paid out of IDAB fiscal year 26 funds. Number 4 is a contract with MMX Renewal and Renew. It's recommended the board renew the purchase service agreement with Facilities Management Express FMX to provide the software for online maintenance, work orders, and to add software for online building use requests and scheduling beginning July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 as an annual cost of $6,818.67. Contract with Neonet. It's recommended the board renew the 5-year purchase service contract with Neonet to provide IP telephony services and support voice over internet protocol beginning July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2030 at an annual cost of $18,048. Number 6 is a contract with West Roofing. It's recommended the board approve the contract proposal for West Roofing Systems, Inc. for the repairs to modular classroom roofs at Coventry Middle School at a cost of $105,250. Today I received that there were 3 questions concerning this project. The first question that I received was when would it begin? And it's a fiscal year 26, so it would be a summer project that begins after July 1st. The second one, is it a necessity? For the next 2, I talked with Mr. Olson. And he says it is a dire necessity. He said what's happening is there's a foam board underneath the rubber surface. It's leaking water when it rains. And so when we go through the freeze-thaw cycle, it's stretching out and it's popping holes in the field of the rubber membrane. If you remember, we did a roofing project. We had that roof looked at and it was recommended to us that all we needed to do was the seams. So the seams are doing very well. The actual field. The seams have held up, the field does not. The reason it's a bit pricey is because of the system that is on that roof with the foam boards. When they put another foam board system on top of that, they have to extend and raise the drains on the roof. So it's not merely attaching a new roof, it's raising the drains as well. And according to Mr. Olson, that's what really cost the price, was the relocation and raising of those drains. The last question was, could we move the 5th graders into a building and then just mothball the modular and then basically not do the roof repair, and the idea being to get rid of that modular. So I walked the middle school today. There are 3 classrooms on the 3rd floor. I checked with Miss Norris and she said there is possibly to be another one on the 1st floor. So that would be 4 classrooms. And right now, based on numbers, we need 5. So you have your 4 cores and your special ed classroom. So we wouldn't have enough at the middle school to take them in. But as you know, a few years ago, I worked with middle school staff. I shared with you that I have the belief, that I still do, that 5th grade belongs in the elementary. So I worked with the middle school staff about possibly moving to what is now the administrative wing at the elementary. And prior to doing that, they wanted a chance to recreate that same experience without leaving the middle school. So when we had these discussions, they worked with the 8th grade teachers who had previously been in the mod and asked to swap. So we did that big swap 2 years ago. And being in this wing, as much as I wanted this project not to work, because I really feel 5th graders belong in the elementary, watching it for 2 years, it really has accomplished the same things we were looking for, which was to isolate the 5th graders away from some of the older kids in the middle school, get them on their own schedule. So they don't even operate necessarily on a middle school schedule. They operate completely independently and only mix back into the preschool or the middle school for their specials. It has created that little family atmosphere out there. I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to be as good as it really is, but they have made it work and they've done a good job with that. So the only building that we could move them to would be to kind of upset the apple cart and move them to the elementary, which I'm not sure that we were all on the same page with that 2 years ago, just because of our inherent issues that we all have with the elementary in terms of windows and natural light. So we could move them to the middle school, but to answer that question, we could move them to the elementary school. But then we'd have to find a new location for the administrators that are in that base. So those were all the questions I had related to that one. We can discuss it more when we get to that portion. Number 7 then was the CMS trip to Camp New Hop. It's recommended the board approve the following trip of Coventry Middle School to Camp New Hop, November 10th through the 12th, 2025. And if you're wondering where Camp New Hop is, it's down by Perrysville, the Mohican area. Number 8 is Ohio High School Athletic Association. It's recommended the board authorize membership in the Ohio High School Athletic Association for schools under its jurisdiction. Schools eligible for membership are those that include 1 or more grades in the 7th through 12th level. It's agreed that these schools will conduct their athletic programs in accordance with the Constitution, bylaws, regulations, interpretations, and decisions of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. The resolution shall remain in effect for the 25-26 school year. Number 9, student insurance. It's recommended the board permit Guaranteed Trust Life Insurance Company to offer student insurance for the 25-26 school year. And this is offered to families. It's optional and there's no cost to the district. Graduating class. It's recommended the board approve the graduating seniors for the 2025, provided each student completes the necessary graduation requirements per Exhibit S3. Number 11 is our DARE resolution. It's recommended the board adopt the resolution in support of the DARE program for the 25-26 school year per Exhibit S4. And then a number of revised policies and procedures. It's recommended the board complete the first reading of the revised and or deleted policies and procedures for discussion only for Exhibit S5. And due to the number, I just kind of wanted to give you an overarching view of what caused all of these policies to change. The drivers of most of these policies is House Bill 8, which was the Parent Bill of Rights. We're memorializing it in our procedures, but these are policies that honestly for our district are very easy to adopt because we, for the most part, did most of the things in that bill. The second one was there were a couple of policies that changed some wording in open enrollment to make open enrollment more accessible for military families. There were a few financial policies and the explanation for those where there were minor changes related to the uniform grant guidance. And the last driver of those policies, I forgot to write down the bill, but it's the bill that came out of the legislature for release time for religious instruction. It went from boards, the language went from boards may engage with these sponsors of these programs to boards will engage with collaborating with our sponsor programs. And again, that's something that we already do. We have a great relationship with, I would say, all the churches in our district, as we've seen, as we've had crisis come, that they're here as soon as we need them. So we have a great situation going with our religious institutions in our community. Number 13 is deletion of inventory. Operations Department. It's recommended that the board approve the following deletion of inventory from the Operations Department. Those are 2 Lenovo towers from the Tech Department. Number 14 is deletion of inventory for Pupil Services Department. It's recommended the board approve the following deletion of inventory from Pupil Services Department. So just to clarify, this is not an item that we're declaring obsolete and disposing of. This is an item that we no longer need because the student that was using this accessible device went to Kent. So we sold the device for the same amount of money to Kent, so the device can follow the student. And number 15 is to accept grants. It's recommended that the board accept the following grants. Recycle Ohio grant and the Ohio Attorney General School Safety Grant. And those are all of the items under other business.
Is there a motion to approve these recommendations?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Back to the roofing. I mean, these monitors have been what I feel is a mistake since they first came on. It's been a good solution temporarily for the fifth graders. I know that firsthand because that's where my son was and it worked out really well. But $100,000 for re-roofing a trailer is kind of crazy. So do you know how big the 8th grade class is? Yeah. With it,
Next year's 8th grade will be our last big class. There are 129 student class. So
what about this year's 8th grade? 8th grade going into 9th.
Smaller than that.
Yeah, there's like,
Do you remember? Because we're going in, is it 110?
I think coming up was 111 or 113 that are currently.
And then the 4th grade class going into 5th grade. How big is that?
That's like 105.
Is it over 100?
I believe it's 105 or 100. I don't have that number. I'm guessing there. I can get it to you.
I'm just wondering if the class going out was substantially larger than the class coming in, thereby freeing up another classroom.
And that's what I was hoping for, because I have been on this line trying to, I'm not a big fan of kids being a mod in general. I think
Yeah.
kids should be in a building. I think they're safer there.
Mhm.
You know, we do a good job of maintaining that area and keeping it secure. But I feel the securest place for kids is in a building, brick and mortar building. So I've been trying to look at this. I agree. I mean, I would love to do away with the mod. I think the district has spent a lot of money on those, and personally, I just resigned myself to using it until it was condemned, to just get all the money back out of it.
Well, not re-roofing it would condemn it, right?
Yeah. Get enough leaks going, yeah. It's not ideal. I don't have a great solution for that mod.
How many bids did we receive for the work?
We had three, two, one was the West Roofing, and the other two were Amish builders that I'm not sure understood the RFP correctly, because they didn't even work within the system. They were, that the system that's on that roof wasn't one of their regular systems they installed.
So their quotes were basically irrelevant because it wasn't.
They tried, but we were questionable of their work, since it wasn't something they normally did. The other issue that Gary pushed with us was that West Roofing has the guarantees and warranties on our other roofs. So that would give us the same warranty and the same company to deal with for this roof like we have on our other roofs.
Do you know how much those Amish bids were?
Is it in board docs?
No.
I don't have it with me. I can get that to you.
Not that I think we should go with them, especially if they don't know what they're doing, but I mean,
And I guess I don't want to allude, they didn't know what they were doing, but
yeah.
it wasn't their normal system that they installed.
Yeah, so I had a couple too. I know that roofing thing is, the roofing here, I mean, even way back, you know, has just been the bane of this district's existence. Nuts. So this is just kind of crazy. I kind of thought we were a little bit past those after
The last
elementary
project.
school got done, finally, after all these years. But, but I saw, that's not on this list of projects that we were given. I think, I don't know who created this.
Oh, that's been a combination of
The buildings and
Mrs.
grounds
Blau,
projects?
myself, and Kelly and Gary.
Okay, so this isn't on there. On this list.
Should be.
Didn't this one come in right when we had our last meeting is when we found out that this project
Yes.
needed to be done.
That might not be the most updated.
The vendors.
So this is the January 30th date, it's most recent we got after that, but. Okay, so you've been like adding some other stuff to this, but that's what I was wondering if there's other stuff too. So
I think,
can you send us all like whatever the updated list is?
I think this roof is the only new update, but I'll have to double check. I'll get it to you tomorrow.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Can they make it a?
Put some trusses on there. Yeah.
Put
It'd
it
be a lot
just on the
cheaper.
one side. I've seen gyms go that way. Where they
You could put an
just,
entire truss system
they
and
put,
shingles
they,
up there.
they
for
end up
$25,000.
setting one wall, you know, even if there's a little bit of a grade, you only have one gutter,
Honestly,
and it doesn't pile, it doesn't,
maybe
you know,
that's a
puddle up
consideration.
on the roof. You gotta slope to it.
To
Make one side a
see if
foot
we
higher
can
than
do
the
a
other, even
project
though it's
that's
a.
cheaper, that changes the style of roof. Is that what you think?
Yeah, you could essentially sit an entire truss system on top of a sloped roof.
Yeah.
Shingle it, have less problems, and it would be less than half of what this is over the
If you'd
modular.
like to
If
table
you
it,
ask those Amish, they'll be able
Would
to
that
build it. They don't
Interfere
have
with the
to-
timeline on this if we table it?
I'd have to double check with Mr. Olson, but I think winter is when we really get hammered with the leaks because that freezes
Yeah,
off.
well,
yeah,
that's what happens with the water roofs,
In
is
the
it
puddles.
falls
We
out
might-
and it freezes and pushes into the seams and underneath it, and yeah.
There might be a window here if we just want to table it and come back to it in May to see if we can find a different option.
Slope it.
That changes kind of.
They could have it in Manchester.
Yeah, well, I'd
I
like
think
to
that'd be
move
nice.
to amend to table it, if anybody will second that,
I'll second that.
separate number 6 and table it until next month.
Yes,
So I'll table that. I'll get with Mr. Olson and then we'll let the vendor know that we're pushing it back to May.
Dan, that's actually a good idea, put a slope roof on that, honestly. I'll be quiet.
And then, and Lisa, this kind of again relates to that project, but I can never keep all these straight. Like the cops that we're paying back, is that the modulars?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's not even paid off. We still have like 4 years. No, we have 4
We have
years
3
left.
years left.
2028.
2028.
January
January
2020.
2028 will be our last payment.
We're good. Cops bill, I mean, for that.
For the, I'm sorry, it's not, the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, because cops goes long.
Certificates of
So
participation.
yeah, so still, so we still have like $300,000. Still, oh my gosh, that's just insane.
Insane.
Yes. Okay, so that's the last one. That's why I can never keep straight. Which one of those is?
The last one for.
The cops is what we refied several years ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's
saved
part of
it.
the, fourth grade academy. Fund.
Then we saved like $9 million on interest when we refined.
Yeah, but it's still a lot coming. Like,
Yeah.
Here's still a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know. That seems so crazy. That was such like a good decision we made at the time.
Yes.
But we're still just paying.
Yeah.
You know, way less than it would have been, I get
Yeah.
it, but still, you know. Okay, so they go asphalt. I just,
How long was the loan on those? I thought we were still paying, but I thought we only had 1 year. I didn't know we had 3.
When were they purchased? 2014,
2011.
2011? So it'd be a 17-year bond
yeah, term 2011 to 2028.
for a trailer with a 10-year life.
It was probably older than we thought.
They were.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've changed our ways and we don't make decisions like that anymore.
yeah, we don't.
Maybe that was the best option at the time.
I give it, but man, I'm glad we're not in that situation. That's better than crazy.
Okay, so that,
So let's table that.
Number 6.
Can we vote? We vote to table that.
no, it's just
Additional vote before we vote for everything else.
motion seconded.
Yes, would we like to motion, call the roll?
The table.
Motion to table. You said yes, I said yes.
Item 6.
Okay, Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Hostetler,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw.
Yes.
And now we already did the motion for recommendation,
Right. Is there any other discussion on anything else?
No discussion. I don't want to say Kelly Kendrick just seems like she is always looking for grants. So that's cool. I mean, it's really cool. And what is the school safety grant? Do you know what that one is?
I just had that. I had forgotten. So the Recycle Ohio grant was for the water bottle filling stations. And the safety grant was, it was sick.
Is it drugs again?
It was a recommendation from our consultant that does our annual security assessments. And he suggested that if we could purchase hotspots in case a building has issues, in which maybe it's on lockdown extensively, that we could take that out and the administrators or whoever needed to could still use that, could still access technology. So it was an interesting, something I don't think we would have thought of doing, but if we need it, would be very helpful.
Yeah, it sounds good that she got this outside funding for that stuff. That's it.
The Camp New Hop, is this in place of the Camp Winoa trip for sixth graders?
So I had asked that question, but I asked it in the mix of another questions, and I got the answer to everyone except for that one.
Okay,
So I'll circle that.
it's fine, yeah.
I didn't realize that till I was on my road where that question didn't get answered.
Okay. I'm good.
Anyone? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. All right, call the roll.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mr. Hostetler,
Yes.
and Mrs. McGraw.
Yes.
Under the treasurer's recommendations this evening, there are 2 items. Item 1, it is recommended that the board approve and place on file the March 2025 financial report and reconciliation per exhibit T1. And item 2, it is recommended that the board approve the POs over 5,000 per exhibit T2. With the strike through of the West roofing system. Under the general fund expenditure and permanent improvement.
Is there a motion to approve these recommendations?
Second.
Discussion?
Financials are still looking solid. Good.
Can you mention the email that we got today?
Which one?
The auditor,
Oh,
the audit came
did
through.
you get the
I did.
official one? Very good.
Congratulations. We did a fantastic job.
Dan, you didn't get enough
Clean
plaque.
audit.
Oh, we
Fantastic.
didn't get the award,
Yeah.
but we did receive, I mean, we don't, yeah, maybe we will, that'd be amazing, but, we did receive, another clean audit this year. So.
Good job. No, that's a team effort with lots of stuff,
100%.
lots of hours, lots of people.
Yeah.
So thank your team and everything
I
for
will.
doing that for our district.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, these hands together. Yeah.
Got it going,
Yeah,
right?
so can you forward that to like?
Everybody think that one?
I guess so.
It came today at like 2.
Oh,
I'll forward it right now.
yeah, maybe, I don't know. So, if it's not, that's cool.
It's from the auditor. Yeah, really awesome. Good job. Okay, any other comments, questions? Call the roll.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mr. Hostetler,
Yes.
and Mrs. McGraw.
Yes. Okay, so that concludes our, let's do board recommendations. Okay, so that concludes our regular board meeting. I would like to go into executive session. And we have 3 different reasons where we're going in. One is the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of an employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against an employee, official, license, or student, unless the employee, official, license, or student requests a public hearing. That's one. The second one is the purchase of property for public purpose or the sale of property at competitive bidding. And the third one is preparing for, conducting, reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with employees.
I will second that.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
I thought yours. was-
Oh, I motioned it, yes.
Oh, I thought.
Good job.
Yes.
And then, there'll be no further business after the board, and we'll just adjourn the meeting afterwards. After executive session.
Still with us.
So, Mr. Bowser, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Hostetler,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw.
Yes. All right. Before